Hello everybody, my name is Albert Corey, and today I'm going to have a little presentation how the IRS secrets revealed, how the IRS will increase your bottom line. My name is Albert Corey, I'm an IRS registered tax preparer, and everybody calls me the tax man. Okay, how the IRS will increase your bottom line without you getting a letter from the IRS. Have you ever wondered, by a show of hands, how to pay less to the IRS? Have you ever wondered, by a show of hands, you want less stress and a peace of mind with your accounting and tax needs? How many of you would like the IRS to increase your bottom line? You're about to discover that you can almost use the same deduction as Donald Trump. You're about to discover that you can take the same deductions that most small businesses miss. My promise to you today is that you're going to take the first step to have the IRS increase your bottom line. Here are your problems. You have very little time to deal with your tax or accounting issues. You have to deal with your company's operations. You do not have the tax strategy in place for your accounting and financial needs. Why must you have a financial strategy? Because it's your blueprint. You see, you have to have a system in place to keep more money in your pocket. Why is the time now? You need to work smarter, not harder. Spend more time on your business and not worrying about the IRS or your accounting issues. Who am I and why listen to me? I've been being a tax advisor since 1985, have been an e-file provider since 1991, has e-filed over 51,000 tax returns, prepared over 35,000 business returns, opened over 40,000 companies since 1985, and I'm an IRS registered tax preparer. This is my story. My dad did my tax return in 1983 and said, I owe money to IRS. I said, Pops, how can this be? I did not work. So I answered an ad in a classified newspapers to go work for H&R Block as a tax advisor. In 1985, I took the money I earned and bought a personal computer. The reason for this is when I was working in H&R Block, everything was done by hand. I was kind of like, my handwriting's horrible. I had to get up and get the forms, and it took me forever to do a tax return. I still remember the day that I did my first return. It took me over 4 hours to do. Probably today, I could probably do that same return in 30 minutes. So in 1985, I bought my computer, and starting putting ads in the classified newspapers to get new clients. I was working at night until I got enough clients to open up my own office. In 1993, I opened up Coyne Associates Tax Accounting Services on West 68th Street. Since then, I've been finding the solutions for my tax and accounting clients. Here are your challenges. Okay, you spend every minute of the clicking clock working on your business. You do not think of accounting services will assist you. You are short-sighted that will empty your wallet. The IRS increase your bottom line. Would it be okay if I'm going to give you a preview? How many of you would like that? Here is my bigger reason. I'm on a mission to assist taxpayers from overpaying the IRS. You see, you work hard for your money, so why should you give so much money back to the government, especially when you give the money back for silly reasons? With just a few small steps, you can start hearing the cha-ching, cha-ching dropping in your pocket. Okay, and now this will give you more time to be more productive in your life and business. What's the difference about the IRS increase your bottom line? Well, look, we made it very easy. Okay, over 35,000 clients have come to our door, businesses, from all different shapes, styles, from accountants, cooks. Some of the craziest ones I've had were, one was a snake wrangler. I had two people that are farmers. One guy was a race driver. Butlers, you name it, photographers. There's not a business coming into my office that I cannot relate to. Second of all, we are the experts in your accounting and tax needs. Here are the myths. You think you can do it alone. You have the perception that no one can relate to your issues, and that you're short-sighted, that you will break the bank trying to get professional services. The 5 steps why you need accounting services. You're not familiar with accounting. You don't know anything about taxes. Bookkeeping takes away from more important tasks. Regular business operations, and your tax savings is the same as saving money to your bottom line. Yes? Step number 1, you're not familiar with accounting. Okay, you do not know how to read financial statements. You have a hard time creating reports. You're lost when it comes to accounting terms. Why do you have an income statement? This is the statement that summarizes how much revenue a company made during a reporting period and how much you spent to produce that income. Okay, what in English terms, this is what I'm good at. Basically says, guys and girls and business owners who are listening to this, if you make $1 million of revenue, you're going to say, yes, yes, na, 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 na. But if you spent $1.1 million to raise it, you lost $10,000 or whatever. You're at a loss. Some people, if you don't do an income statement or have a professional accounting or bookkeeper assist you, you think you're making a lot of money, guys. But at the end of the day, the cash flow is bad and you really are in the red. Okay. You're also very foggy when it comes to accounting and tax issues, meaning that sometimes you don't understand how to deduct your car. You don't understand what depreciation is, which basically says, I just spent $10,000 on an air conditioner. Okay, you cannot take that all off the first year. That's called depreciation. That's what the accounting firms do. We make sure you understand the terms. You don't know anything about taxes. You're not up to date to the tax laws. You don't know how to reduce your tax bill, and we make sure all IRS forms are filed. This is the craziest way how people pay late money to the IRS and the government. Let me tell you some of the stupid ways that you could be putting money in the bank. Okay, if you're in the state of Florida, you have to file, and this is probably in any state in the union, but I know Florida because I do these every day, so I know the dates, that you must file your corporation tax returns by April 30th. If you file it by April 30th, it's only going to cost you $150 if you're a corporation or $130 if you're an LLC. If you wait till May 1st, okay, at midnight, those fees jack up to $400 and $500. If you wait till July 1st, because you don't think it's important, that these fees go up to $600, $700. I had one client who needed the company opened because it was in default and she needed it for her business. It costed her $1,000 because she paid for the renewal in January. Guys, that's crazy, crazy, crazy. So she lost $850 because she didn't file on time. Another crazy thing that comes in my office all the time is you think you're smart, you open up your own corporation. You open up your LLC so you don't have to pay me. Okay, but you forget that you must file your LLC or corporation by March 15th. You think it's the same as your regular tax return, which is April 15th. Well, then you come and do your tax return, and guess what? You're going to get a letter in the mail that says you owe the government extra money because you filed your corporate or tax return late. This is because Most people don't understand that when you open up a corporation or LLC, you are a shareholder of that company. You might own 100 shares, but the IRS says you're a shareholder. When you have a professional tax person take care of your financial needs, we make sure that you either file on time by April 15th or by March 15th, or you make sure that I make sure all my customers call me and get an extension in early January so you can avoid these issues. Bookkeeping tasks take you away from your most important parts of your business. Okay, why you need a bookkeeper? Because why should you put, you're working hard, you're trying to run your business. It's very hard to concentrate how to keep the business running. You have other issues to worry about. So why should you take the time every day? I know it's important to go put in a book or QuickBooks, what your electric bill, what your expenses are. So now when you have a bookkeeper, you just give her the bills and that will put everything in your books to make sure so you can have the time to do other things. So you can go work on your business and not worrying about filling out a ledger sheet. Second of all, it's very tedious work. Okay. Third of all, this is a simple task that you can give to somebody else. Okay. Because it will give you the time freedom to do whatever you want with your livelihood. Step number 4, regular business operations. You need advice on what estimate payments you should make during the year. You need to determine whom and why you should send W-2 forms and 1099s, and they will help you prevent from getting audited from the IRS. Okay, step number 1. Here, when you get audited, a lot of my clients come to my office and they think that they have the W-2 form or 1099s. They don't want to put them in because they're not going to get that big refund or they're going to owe money less. They think that if you wait, I can put it in next year. Well, that's not true. Every tax form has a year in the right-hand corner. Well, that form has to correlate to the year that it's tagged to. If it's not tagged on it, you're going to get an IRS audit letter. Step number 2, a lot of clients get audit letters because you're going to try to do it yourself or you're going to go to an unprofessional and they're going to put crazy things. Some of the craziest things I've seen over the last 3 years, it's coming about a lot, who go to these people who do tax returns or accounting on their dining room table, is you make $42,000 a year, which is good, but she puts that you put $27,000 driving your car to work. Guys, that's a ding, ding, ding. When you put that on your tax return, it's guaranteed you're going to get an IRS audit letter. Okay, and we will make sure you're going to avoid the pains. Step number 5, you now can keep more money in your bank. Your tax savings is the same as your bottom line. Guys, when you do a tax return right and you go to a professional, and especially if you come to us, I will guarantee in writing that you will double, you will get back, or you will save more money than the fees that you give me. I will guarantee you back. I got 34 years of experience that will show you, that this is true. Will you be my next success story? How many of you want to be my next success story? Maybe you don't know the difference of how to open up a company. You don't know the difference between an LLC, Sub S, or C Corp. Maybe because you have mounds and mounds of paperwork and IRS issues. The IRS increase your bottom line. These are the benefits and features. You need to stop paying the government. Avoid being penalized with your tax forms. Avoid the frustration of trying to get answers without spending a lot of time and energy. Your tax savings is the same as money to the bottom line. Who is this not for? If you enjoy writing checks to the IRS or not getting a bigger refund, please don't come by. Okay, if you're not open-minded to solving IRS issues and accounting issues, stay home. And if you're happy about getting an IRS audit letter in the mail, Same thing, don't bother coming in. Who is this for? If you like business owners who like to keep more money in your pocket, you like to avoid penalties and filing late fees, and business owners who want to spend more time in your business and not on your accounting and tax needs. The benefits and features of our program. Okay, step number 1, you need to stop paying the IRS. We know all the deductions that will get you the best return. We know all the deductions so that you don't have to avoid you getting an IRS audited. Step number 2, avoid penalties with your forms. We will make sure that all your forms and all the tax returns are filed on time. You can call our office any day to ask us when they're due. What I see happening a lot nowadays is people are trying to save money. They're either A, trying to do it themselves, or B, going to people who do tax returns on their kitchen table. Well, what happens when you file the returns on kitchen tables is if there's a question or you got an IRS letter or you don't get the money on time, they are not there to help you. Us, on the other hand, I'm there every day. During the tax season, we're there every single day, 7 days a week, from January 4th to April 15th. During the off season, we will answer your questions either every day or by email within 24 hours. Why you need a bookkeeper? This is the person who keeps track of your financial life, that will make sure that keep your financial health of your company working perfectly. The other parts are avoid the frustration of trying to get answers from the IRS. In case you ever wondered, if you ever tried to call IRS lately, it's either A, you're on the phone for 4 hours, or B, they don't answer the phone. Why you come to us is we already been down those roads before. We are experts. Our office has been in business for 34 years. We've already seen 98% what have already come out there, or the other 2% we can find the solutions to your answers. So you don't have to wait in line, and you will always get answers because you cannot call the IRS anymore. Because you see, this skeleton is so true of the IRS. You can't call them. You're going to be online for 4 hours, and the 4 hours are going to say, sorry, we can't answer the phone you anymore. If all we did was put more money in your pocket, would it be worth it for you? If all we did was to save you the time to get your answers, tax and financial accounting questions answered, would it be worth it? If all we did was to give you a better perception of your business, would it be worth it to you? Are you worth the investment? Yes, you are. Some people to me say it's too expensive, but I know you already realize it's always wise to invest in your business. You're going to be amazed how just using our system, you can triple what you pay us every year. Okay, we will make sure that you will get that in triple savings every year when you do the tax return with us. You need to start taking action now. You can call us. We are giving away free consultation. You can schedule a consultation at http://bigirisrefund.com. You can call our office at any time. We are Corey & Associates Accounting Services at 305-823-9228. Okay, thank you. And this is where you can call and get a free consultation. If you have any questions, just go to that website, leave your name and number, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you, and have a good day, and start saving money on the IRS.